freeing all minds equals freeing your mind. Abraha Izana Brahanu. And today I have a show that I've got prepped beforehand, although I didn't feel like doing it. Kind of going into like right before hibernation mode. But I'm really feeling really smooth here, and I just kind of feel like I can bring the potential viewers of this YouTube video into my little pre-hibernating mode right quick. Like just bring you into the cave with me. I got a brand new notebook here and a nice little table that I found. Oh my gosh. All right, cool. But first, I'm just gonna speak on, before I get into what I wrote down. I just want to speak on what I've been going through. Just coming back into from really convening and meeting with a lot of people in this present moment, in the now present moment. It's a trippy thing to be here in the present moment with everything that's happening at you, and then you actually saying, okay, this is my response, is my presence. This is like me here. This is me here now, because not despite this, regardless of this, and there's just been for me a cleaning up of what happens here and how it relates to different scales of myself. Like, so my universal self has a certain sanctity and its sacredness, and this could easily be for you. I'm just saying this in English words, but I move from a deeper place, so a surface explanation for something that I may still need to do may not actually move me to actually go for that. So I'm seeing now and understanding my own version and my own depth in English and expression, in the English expression, and that's what works for me. I move from a place of depth and an authentic depth from which I can invent or have the belief energy to actually invent and play with concepts without feeling like, oh, how long is this going to take, or when is this going to happen, and I already have evidence of other times that I've done that. The thing that I'll say is holding my integrity and continuing to deepen those concepts is where I can get better at, which I already have amazing concepts. Look at my D major, D minor, and all those chord breakdowns into how you could use them to digest your own food. And I was just talking to my family, and we've been going through some hits here in my immediate family, and as well as extended clan, and we were just speaking on how we all have our guardrails of things that we have to do as we move forward. And one of the things that propelled me into sharing my healing experiences, and inspiring others to do the same is actually focusing on health and nutrition. So as a thing, like where I just had, like, I'm reaching a point where I'm noticing if there are issues dormant and family didn't understand how, or friends even didn't know how to deal with it in their own way. They're having to go by the guardrails of their life. So that would be like, the guardrails would be like, you're gonna eat, you're gonna breathe, you're gonna walk. And so mastering those basics, the guardrails, whatever other guardrails that are going to be there. And honestly, 2013, 2012, and on and off 2014, I was on the guardrails, and did not feel good. Did not feel good to sit down and meditate. Didn't feel good to be outside. It actually felt like, man, it was like is a death and rebirth process for sure. Um, so that was my death process, and we all have our guardrails right now. We have to acknowledge the guardrails that created the foundation for us to build. And if we did dump our energies that we did build freshly from our guardrail process, which is the authentic truth of having, whether it is walking, which is something that I love to do as well. Just like focusing on the guardrails of what it is that that fuels your progression, or that fuels your evolutionary urges in any way. So it's the guardrails, that might be the main topic that I'd like to talk about, and um, that's the place where I move from, and sometimes as things as I combine and collaborate and expose myself to other energies and other people and other lessons as well being learned, I tend to think that the guardrails are less, or I value them less. But when you have to just be in your own accounts and manage your own and balance your own things, you realize it's going to be the guardrails that are going to help you to move through and rebalance your way of being, so that you can, because your guardrails are like your foundation, and to balance it you have to move from the bottom up, and then everything on top is just going to kind of jiggle into place. So here. And just see, like there, I had notes, right? But my priority was the present moment and what I had just experienced before getting on the call, honestly. And that usurped that. That was actually one of the. And then creating your own info landscape, which journaling, I highly suggest getting a bigger journal, like one of these. What is this? What is the diameter of this? Doesn't say, but it's more than 8x6, maybe like 10 by 10 or 10, 8 by 10 or something like that. 5-star, huge 5-star notebook binders. And I found this from an old class that I never really took notes with. And as I have a very relaxed tone. Hope that this comes through clear, but I believe that some of us are relaxing into evolving into a new state, and so that some of us need an actual deeper set point center to function from, and realizing there's an authenticity that our soul or our spirit or the infinite expression of you can actually come and be like, okay, so this is what it's going to be like for the next 20 years, 200 years. And then you may one day get a hyper blast and see what 2,000 years looks like, and that's where I'm kind of seeing that, almost not being forced, but there's so many lucky hits where I'm being able to see expand into further sight. And yeah, and then I just wanted to state again the power of community, of soul family, of your family. Mother Teresa did say it best. If you really think that you're an advanced healer, go back and heal your family. And like I said before, because of the guardrail scenarios, and just as the guardrail scenarios of each person is different, it's also a thing where you once you get the guardrail going, at the guardrail phase, no therapy and no externals can really help you. Or if you do go to an external, most, if they're not like some type of free kind of a scenario where they're just, some type of thing like that, it's going to be rigmarole, or it's going to be repetition without illumination, or it's going to be some form of non-progressive neutral activity, and that's kind of distasteful when you actually really need the healing. So you go from the guardrail state to creating a sail, or a kite, if you will, like your higher self kite, um, and yeah, while creating your higher self kite, the holes that could be in this kite would be uh, distraction, could be a hole, anything that would be like a negative. I guess I just didn't want to go into like shame, but I just wanted, whatever it is that would culminate into non-progress. And I've been using tools to help build moral and train and build moral integrity within myself. So I was looking at Thich Nhat Hanh, The Art of Mindfulness, and towards the end, it kind of gets it gets really I'm going to call it really it's going to get really borderline religious sacred, or just full blown religious sacred, after having a kind of very relaxed, mindful theme. You know what I mean? So it's just like my friend. Oh my gosh, Wes said it best. So it's like you can drink some of the potion, but if you drink the whole potion, when it comes to like these Buddhists who write books, or certain, anything that's dealing with spirituality, you can't drink the whole potion. You just, there's enough potions to sample, to try, to continue to just, take maybe a couple gulps here, a couple gulps there, and it's. Yeah, and so I was organizing, or at least beginning the organizing phases for an event tomorrow. I'm just gonna have a live, just a live hangout, and just make it so openly available for tomorrow, and do a little bit of what I was doing at the Love Light Festival back in August. I'm having another similar workshop. Although honestly, I don't, I feel, I just honestly felt that I was just feeling a little tired, a little just a little relaxed. Not necessarily like I wasn't feeling tired, but I was just feeling in rest and relax and hibernation. So, and just generally, I can tell now is the time to go within. The seasons. I've been working with being more in tune with the seasons, and definitely did a little bit of physical exercise, because when you do physical exercise, um, like especially dealing with weights and things that add tissue, your brain cells. That's when you work out or physically exercise. That's when you create brain cells. And I was just doing cardio, but now it's like the good thing about mastering of the basics of cardio is that if you combine cardio with weights, it's way more effective than if you just do weights dry. It's like the foreplay, and walking is a great guardrail, because you're going to be walking all your life. walking is your main is like water, and working out is like food. You don't know what's gonna, like, all the workouts and all the little weights and different forms of workouts are like different foods. You don't know what's organic, you don't know what's inorganic. You don't know what's gonna have health side effects. You don't know what's good for you. And in general, mm, each workout has its own spice, but walking for me is definitely a guardrail. Yeah, and then I'm seeing a lot of friends throwing events as well. Are actually beginning tomorrow, which is great. Um, Beginning to see kind of a culmination to, like, of friends that are, we're all that are doing similar things that are just coming together. And right now I'm really pushing the envelope with taking the opportunity to release this show, because I feel like I have some present updates that can really help someone that watches this, even if they watch it later. Let's see. So, yeah, and then we can look at my present moment conversations with Ryan still. Um, Present moment conversations still. We released an episode last Thursday, so about almost a week now. Yeah. So this will be it. This is really all I have for today's show. I wrote this down for yesterday because I had a something that I planned for, that I was going to be at for 7 tonight, but that didn't end up happening. And so I got the opportunity to let this. It's interesting when you write something down and then you really intend to forget about it. It's as if it comes back, because I went through most of the points without even looking at my notes, which happens. This just happened before. Because when I do what I do write is it's more essence writing. It's like a shorthand of what's already flowing, and this is going to be an episode that I look back at. So that's it. Freeing all minds equals freeing your mind. I will see you next week. Peace. Wholereflections.com is the website. Abraham is signing out.